Hello and welcome to this edition of ELCAT News Update. I'm Jake Brady.
And I'm Allie Carrington. We began tonight with the Board of Selectmen meeting of July 7th, where the board heard a detailed presentation by Blake Haskell of J.D. Hunter Associates regarding a proposed Hampden County Regional Emergency
When we were
Call
at the
Center.
911 Commission meeting, the director of 911, we introduced the captain to them, and they are very excited about having this rec come to fruition because it's the first rec under the NG 911 and the new way of doing things in the western part of the state. So they're very, very happy with that.
The town has discussed sharing public safety dispatch services for the past several years, and the state has encouraged towns to regionalize for a number of reasons.
And the state is really pushing hard on regionalization. There are a lot of administrative reasons. There are also a lot of technical reasons, but the underlying reason is improvement in providing emergency services.
Foremost is the increase in the call volume resulting from everyone having cell phones, and the nature of dispatch responsibilities. Presently, a uniformed patrol officer at the East Longmeadow Police Station answers 911 emergency calls made from local landline phones.
One of the big advantages here is some towns have a single person on duty on the overnight hours. When you have an auto accident and you've got multiple calls, it's crazy. Towns are now mandated to provide emergency medical dispatch, and that's really hard to do when you're trying to dispatch the firefighters, versus telling someone how to do CPR.
Many town residents may not be aware that all 911 calls made in the town by cell phones are answered at the Northampton State Police Barracks and then directed to the ELPD.
Right now the calls go to the Northampton State Police facility. They talk to the person, then they transfer the person to the local community. When they are medical issues, those delays can be very important, or any other kind of public safety.
The town has moved cautiously in weighing the benefits of regionalization. The selectmen declined once again to take a vote on the issue at Tuesday's meeting.
Well, if you'd like to work on this motion, I'd be happy to go sit over there and vote in favor.
We've got a few people to run it by first, but thank you for the offer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time.
Like I said, thank you for being so flexible.
Also at Tuesday's meeting, interim town administrator Greg Moyer was informally introduced by Chairman Paul Federici.
I'd like to introduce and welcome Greg Moyer, who is our new interim town administrator. He's just literally got out of the car from Oklahoma, and he's ready to do some good things for us. And Lorraine might even be able to see 4 o'clock once in a while. Welcome, Greg. I appreciate it.
On Wednesday, the East Longmeadow Charter Commission met with Barry Del Castillo, former Amherst town manager and past president of the Massachusetts Municipal Association. Del Castillo also served as an interim town manager in Longmeadow, and the commission invited him to speak about his experience with various forms of municipal government and the strengths and weaknesses of each.
The worst form of town government will work well if the people want to make it work. And the best form, however you define it, of town government will not work if the people don't want to make it work. In Amherst, it was very well understood. For instance, when I put together interview panels for department head positions, the only people in town who were not eligible to be on that interview committee was members of the board. And they all understood that. There was never any attempt to interfere with that. On the board and committee level, joint meetings, especially what we used to call the Gang of Four, which was the school committee, the board of selectmen, the finance committee, and the elected library trustees. The very beginning of the budget process, November, sometime like that. Everybody get together. How are we doing? What do we think it might look like? Once the governor's budget came in, get together, Gang of Four meeting. But this is different than we expected. What's it going to be like? And then again, prior to the finance committee making its final recommendations, another meeting of the Gang of Four, just to try to understand each other, even if can't agree, at least reduce the number of disagreements and try to work things out.
The Charter Commission meets again Thursday, the 9th. Residents are encouraged to attend meetings, which are held every Thursday in the Media Room at the Senior Center, 328 North Main Street, at 6:30 p.m.
Last Sunday, ELCAT caught up with the Green Monster Special Olympics softball team.
We are a Green Monsters, and we love to play our teams.
And what's your name, Pat?
My name is Patrick Hurst of East Long Meadow.
All right, and I'm Kathy Hurst Brown, Green Monsters Special Olympics, and we're collecting for our unified softball team. We've been together since late 80s. I started in 1992. Patrick's been involved with Special Olympics since he was 8 years old. Yeah, Patrick actually rode as the athlete in the 4th of July parade in 1990.
Yes.
After he had won in 1989.
The team held a bottle and can drive to raise funds and will be heading to the state tournament at Blunt Park on August 8th and 9th. Finally, great weather, lots of talent, and gracious support from the community made this year's 4th of July celebrations pleasurable to everybody. The annual East Long Meadow Carnival was a huge success, drawing thousands of people from all over the Western Mass area. July 3rd's Rotary Summer Concert featured Trailer Trash, a well-known country music band with many local followers who came out to enjoy the show.
My old man is that old man, spent his life living off the land, dirty hands and a clean soul. It breaks his heart to see foreign cars filled with fuel that isn't ours, and wearing cotton we didn't grow.
Immediately following the concert, the annual East Long Meadow fireworks display brightened the sky over a crowd of cheerful spectators. Lastly, on the morning of the 4th, the yearly Independence Day parade took place where friends and families gathered along the route to witness all the talent.
Here's the Springfield Italian-American Band and our good friends from the East Longmeadow Lions and her court, Ashley Boger, Jessica Walsh, Alicia Hogan, Jordan Shimura. Following the float is President John Bullo, Vice President Butch Craven, Treasurer Joe Morrison, and Secretary Chris Malakowski, and Miss Congeniality. Teen East Longmeadow 4th of July Parade, Mr. Ned Oberdesser. Ned is a town resident since '73. Ned was a first lieutenant in the Army and is a decorated Vietnam War veteran. He is a member of the American Legion and the Knights of...
That'll do it for us today. I'm Jake Brady.
And I'm Allie Carrington. Thank you for watching ELCAT News Update.